Definite scratch bowlers. These guys have got averages like you can't even believe.
Like
scores.
What? Like what?
Well,
what kind of average?
They qualified with 780 and 760. Nick had the 780. Steve had the 760. It's 220.
You're right. That's hard to believe.
Sure.
But it's phenomenal. These guys, well, they've been around for a long time, too.
Steve has a 218 average. And Nick's averaging 235. That's a 700 every single week.
Shake it off, Nick.
Jeez, that's fantastic.
You shoot 690 and you lose pins on your average. That would be a little disgruntling, wouldn't it?
Definitely. He bowls out at Cherry Grove Lanes. That's one of our newest members into the BPA Association. Brand new house out there, I understand.
Yeah.
We'll be there in a couple weeks.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, I was out there doing a site survey for the show, and a phenomenal location. And we'll see some of our older friends out there running a marvelously new establishment. Now, if you want to try out for the BPA King of Bowling, this particular week, you can dial up Seymour Lanes right now, 731-5779. Give them a call. Might have a spot available for you as we watch Nick Vogelgesang just rip the cover off the ball in the right-hand lane.
Boy, can he throw it good. Man. Age 28, averaging 235, and he's got 235 at two different houses, David. Cherry Grove and Walt Center, 780. 20th TV appearance. You can be sure he's pretty relaxed.
Well, we've said it well last week. I mean, the numbers that this guy can dial up are so phenomenal. They're almost impossible to believe. They make his ball makes a mockery of the game. Absolute power, power, power. Take a look at this one, folks. Take a look at it from the back. Just absolutely rips the cover off the ball, goes with it down the lane. Now watch it here. Just cuts through the pins. Out of here. That's the head pin flying across from left to right, just in case anything was left standing. Nick's bored.
That's right.
It's a routine ripper, you know.
Uh-oh. Oh, that ball got wide, but came back, but just didn't have the roll on it needed. Stephen recently got engaged to Darlene Johnson. What a nice lady she is that got engaged to Christmas.
They've been hanging around together for a little while, haven't they?
They really have. They make a real nice couple. As I said, Steve has a 218 average, and he also averages 209 at stumps.
And he covers a 2-8 very cleanly. That's the exact way I would advise everyone to do it. Mike McDonald from over on our side of town is here. Well, better resort to the scoreboard here. The Pepsi BPA scoreboard shows Nick with a couple of strikes up, and Steve Bruck trailing with a couple of spares, but Steve Bruck is capable of stringing strikes. We've seen it before.
And he's a really good clutch player. That's what I'm impressed about Steve. When he needs a strike, he bears down, and 9 times out of 10, he plows them pins over.
And that time he was a crunch player, right?
Definitely.
Mike McDonald from Stumps Lanes over on the west side, Gary Rolfus, and Frank Ruggieri. There's the proprietor.
There's half a Mike.
Yeah, Bill. Well, yeah. Oh, a wrap 10. But I tell you what, this place is great, and Bill Heck, the manager here, has done a fantastic job with it. There he is right there. Almost 2 decades. Almost 2 decades of making this place happen. And phenomenal job. Great lanes, super establishment, good location.
What's really neat about Madison Bowl here is it has 2 sides. There's 16 lanes on each side, and I always thought that made for a unique feel here at Madison. I've always loved this place.
It does. It gives you 2. You're right, Jen. It separates the place distinctly, but yet they're both the same feel, and they score about the same. Nick Vogelgesang leading by 11 pins as we also talk a little bit more about Madison. Harry Osgood, the owner, and Chuck DeGarro. He runs the place from time to time and does a marvelous job as Nick runs the pins right out of town. This place is big. Just take a look at it. There's the control desk. A couple of people renting shoes and bowling going on the other side of the establishment as we film our show here. Activity everywhere. Bowling, the #1 public participation sport in America.
Yay!
Yay! That's right. Still.
Steve doing a little shaker there. Getting that head pin moving left to right.
Well, we'd like to thank Howe Manufacturing. Boy, have they done a marvelous job for us over the years. They provide the shirts, these nifty shirts that you got one last week, Jen. I'm a little jealous.
I'm gonna keep it for a long time.
Really?
They do all kind of stuff: silk screening, embroidery. They do a lot of the local schools. They're nice people, and they're people that you like to do business with.
That is correct. Nice to do business with Howe Manufacturing. They supply our shirts. Tri-State Bowling Supply, Pepsi.
They supply my bowling balls.
That's right. They do a fine job over there.
Definitely.
As we go back to the scoreboard, the Pepsi BPA scoreboard showing a match in progress with two guys that will just not quit.
Wow. Nick never ceases to amaze me. Matter of fact, he used to not be that great of a spare shooter, and everybody used to make fun of him only because they were jealous of his striking power. That's the way I evaluate it.
Well, but you're right.
Nick
I was jealous. I was
spares.
jealous of his striking power, and that's why I made fun of him,
Right.
Jen. You're absolutely right. But
me too.
With that strike, he goes up to 1 in the lead, and being 1 up, both players with strikes up. If he takes it off the sheet, he can close Mr. Bruck out as he wipes a little sweat from his brow, knowing the potential severity of Nick's capability of doing this.
Totally impressive. Yeah, Nick really knows how to make spares now. He was second in the all events, the national all events in 1991 in Toledo, and you don't get something like that without making spares consistently. It's something he's worked on, and he's progressed, and now he's here, and he's a top-notch amateur bowler.
Yeah, if you can call what he's doing amateur, I tell you what, I know a lot of pros that would love to do what he does. Both guys striking now with regularity, but remember, Nick Vogelgesang leads by 1. The only thing Steve Bruck can possibly do is continue to strike, hoping that the pressure or a ring 10 could possibly give him a win. 6th frame, Stephen Bruck trails by 1 pin. Both bowlers on a triple.
This is great excitement here. Yes, yes. As he shuffles off the lane.
Oh, what a reaction on this one. Did he want this one? You can bet your booty he did. Take a look at this release, too. It is a fabulous shot. Steve Bruck goes down after it, gets it for all it's worth. Stays down at the line. Pins do their job, and his reaction to the shot is he is out of frame.
See ya. Oh, Nick,
and
wow.
Then Nick.
He was awfully quick getting up there, and I don't think he set himself up. That's the way I look at it.
Well, again, in years past, I said it, if Nick has a weakness, it's the fact that he's not that great a spare shooter. He's improved on that. Okay, what we're seeing now is Nick that
back up.
Incredible.
Back up on the 2, and it goes right in front of the 10. What a great effort.
Great try, and he's one of the few people that'll do that. Other people will flatten it out. He's actually trying to bend the ball back into, and he puts it right in front. That's the 2 pins sliding right in front and just missing the 10.
Now, how could we dare make fun of his spare shooting when he does stuff
Great
like that?
Well, I used to do a lot of dumb stuff on the TV. Make fun of people, Jennifer.
There we go. Back in it. Shaking his head.
Well, he's shaking his head for one reason. You know what it is. Going against a player like Steve Bruck, you cannot open in the 7th frame. He will bury you. You might lose a hit, and you're still there. But if you're open, Steve Bruck is not the kind of player I predict to make a bad shot from this point on. He is not going to give up a 24-pin lead.
Oh, he set it down early. Set it down early,
so
David.
So much for my predictions. Welcome back to King of Bowling, folks, where Dave Newrath can non-predict them again. Here's the reason. I didn't count on this. He lays the ball down short, right there, right behind the foul line, as you called it, Jennifer, instead of out on the lane, causing the ball to roll early, rolling up through the head pin, and when you dump the ball, you lose the roll, so you're not going to break down the split.
You know, David, bowling last week, I was amazed at how hot those lights were. I mean, I've been under the lights before, but never bowling. And it's hard to get a good feel in your ball when you're, you know, you're so warm you can hardly stand it.
Well, we've got it lit up pretty good here. We've got about 10,000 candle watts coming down right on you, but that's so that you folks at home can watch the action more clearly.
Steve's got to firm up here.
Absolutely. And you know what? The problem you ran into last week, Jennifer, interesting, possibly is happening to Steve, reading the lanes incorrectly, because you know, he should have felt the fact that he dumped the last ball.
Right.
Now, if you read a bad shot, you're going to make another bad shot right behind it.
Absolutely. Well, that makes things tight. We'll say that.
You betcha. Talk about tight. A no-tap tournament.
Yeah.
All you got to do is throw them in the pocket. You get credit for a strike. 1995, the 4th annual Madison Bowl no-tap tournament. We'll give you a little bit more information on it as we go through here. It's a 3-person handicap tournament.
Dave, that's our kind of tournament.
Oh, yeah, right. 4 pins and 10 pins. Yeah. Well, if you want to play, we can come on out February 4th and 11th. That's history with 5th and 12th. That'll work. Shift times 12 noon, 1:30, 3, 2 o'clock. Just give a call out here to Madison Bowl, 271-2700 for a little information. You can pick up a quick $900.
Cool, let's go.
Well, the tail of the tape, 5 sticks. Credit Steve Bruck. 9th frame, both players spare working. Nick Vogelgesang must strike to have a chance to win this match.
This is the 10th frame. This is where the 2 guys are going to see who can bowl better under the pressure.
I got home later, Russ.
All right, one more shot, then you can apply the pressure right back to that man, Stephen Bruck. This strike will force Steve to double. Incredible.
Oh, wow. Nick saying, no way.
The critical shot, Jen, the critical shot, and he absolutely trusts it, straps it. 5-pin goes in front, off the wall. Not to be today. Nick Vogelgesang finishes with a very credible 214. Steve Bruck must spare to win this match, but
Steve's gone high the last 2 frames. It'll be interesting to see what he does right here.
That's right. Interesting adjustment. I wish we had him mic'd like we had you mic'd last year. Hear what he's thinking. That's out there.
Get up.
Oh, look at the smirk on his face. He can't believe it either. If he spares and strikes, he wins by a pin. He must bring this back and then strike to win the match, folks. The washout, the 1, the 2, the 4. You got to throw the 1 pin into the 10 pin. Let's see if he can do it. Well, that does it for Mr. Steve Bruck. Stick a fork in him. He is done. Nick Vogelgesang wins a squeaker, 214 to 203. Nick will go on to meet our champion from last week, Bobby Glandorf, in match 3 when we come back. Stay with us.